Welcome to Shot Callers. I'm your host, Dennis Postema, and I am so excited today. Dr. Izdihar Jamil is with us, and she just hit #1 in 4 different countries with her book, Moneymakers. Welcome, Izdihar. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Dennis. I'm really great. I'm happy. I'm thankful. A lot of my dreams have come true. I'm healthy. My kids are healthy. And I get to hang out with you, being matchy today for a couple of times now.
Yeah, so it is truly it's truly a blessing actually to know you in so many ways. I mean, 13-time #1 international best-selling author, been on TED, Fox, Forbes, NBC, CBS, ABC, CW, all over the place. And just more importantly, besides all of that, just truly a dearest friend and one of the greatest people I know. Thank you again for being on the show. So let's talk about this book.
Okay.
So first of all, this is nothing to shake a stick at. This book was written in 72 hours, I understand, and you were 8 months pregnant. Tell us about that journey and how you came to it.
Well, it wasn't easy, Dennis, like so big. And when you're 8 months pregnant, all you care about is having your baby, right? Making sure that everything is taken care of. We've got everything ready for the baby, which we didn't, only on the day that I was give birth, I'm like, babe, you need to go to Target and get the nappy and get this, because we had nothing ready. And it's our 3rd child.
Yeah.
The 72 hours is kind of like, I've had this desire that this is something, a calling, a desire, something burning, that this is something that I should do right now, which can be a little bit crazy. Who does it, right? 8 months pregnant. But I've had this such a huge calling that to do it then for some reason. And I feel that it's kind of paying a homage to my grandma, Mamin, who is one of the people that I love the most in the world. She is not an educated person, because at her time, girls are told not to go to school, but she loves money. Because she wants things, she wants jewelry, she wants nice furniture. So she had to figure out a way to make money based on her skill set. She cooks, she sews, she sells jewelry, she sells hijab, she sells clothes, like everything. I used to remember going into the shop with her, like the fabric shop.
Right.
When you go into the fabric shop, oh my God, like there's thousands of fabric. I'm like, I can't stand it. There's so many colors, because I don't like shopping. Shopping stresses me out because there's so many options.
Right,
so I get stressed out. But Mommy would choose this blue, this red, this green, like pattern and everything with the clothes. And all of a sudden, I ended up carrying these bags of 20, 30 fabric with me home. And she would first pick out the one she loves for herself, then the rest she would sell. So I kind of had that at a very young age. And this is like in homage to her at a very young age, something that I've learned even throughout my different businesses. And even when I've been coaching for, Dennis, shut down your mess brain for almost 20 years now. And something for me to share that I feel that people need it.
I think, after, knowing you for quite a while now and knowing your story, I think your grandmother, what reminds me is she was the epitome or the definition of side hustle before anybody knew what side hustle was, doing different things just to earn that income. And what an inspiration it had to have been. How much does that impact you on a daily basis as far as with entrepreneurship? Because people really don't understand money. They don't understand that portion of entrepreneurship. I think now, it's so easy because they show the flashy cars with entrepreneurship, and it's sexy and it's awesome to be an entrepreneur. And, there's all these cool things, but nobody talks about the hard work. Nobody talks about, taking out money to make sure your business stays afloat, or paying employees if you have employees and things like that. So tell me how on a daily basis, having your grandmother's voice in the back of your head helps you to be a successful entrepreneur and it helps you keep focused on the money end of it.
Thank you. And so my grandma passed away a few months ago. And I haven't seen her for a few years, but she's with me. She's she's my life force. I can feel her every moment. I'm sorry, like,
Oh no, you're
I
okay.
can feel her every moment, you know, when I cook, the things she taught me. Like, I used to remember, like, she's like, she always buys things in twos, like,
Okay.
you know, to ketchup, to rice, to like to everything. I'm like, Mommy, why do you buy twos? Because then if one finishes, I have one immediately. So it's kind of like she always have the plan, you know, like ready for her, everything that she does, because she majority of my family members are professional, like highly skilled professional. But mommy, she's like, she wants things like she goes out and figure it out. And she didn't have any website. She didn't have any of the sparkly objects. She God knows like how to use tag. It's a miracle she can pick up the phone. She didn't have all those things, but she was able to make money out of it, but just friends and families, and using her own skill set. And that's like what I wanted to share in Money Makers. You don't need the sparkly things. Most of the time people are thousands in dollars in debt, but they haven't made any clients because they're so focused on ads or websites or sparkly things, whatever, having a great office, having great team members without having any clients. And I just wanted to bust through this BS that the industry has created. You don't need all that. What matters is go out there, find the right person for you. I remember like in England, my husband and I started an organic business delivering produce from the farm to the customer's door because I was pregnant then. It seems like whenever I'm pregnant, I always have things going on, right?
It's
Mommy,
your
run to
idea
me.
time, huh?
Exactly. It's like my most profitable, like, you know, productive time or something. So we just had a simple business, and I didn't have any website. I didn't have any ads. I didn't have any flyer, nothing. All I did was like go to my friends there. Do you know buy some chickens? I've got chickens. Do you know buy some organic chickens? And then they're like, okay, what kind? Okay, I have the chicken breast, chicken legs and thigh, I have the whole chicken. So which one do you want? And mind you, chicken breast is more expensive than anything else. So buy the whole chicken. So just as simple as texting, emailing, calling, and that's how I make money. And people just paid me, you know, like, okay, I want like 3 whole chickens, 2 chicken breasts, you know, 4 chicken legs and thigh, whatever it is that they want, and then maybe some lamb. So that's what I wanted to share, Dennis, that it really is simple. If you take away all the glittery stuff, and you and I had a conversation about fundamentals and master the fundamentals, you would always be a moneymaker.
Wow, I couldn't agree more. That is very powerful. And the success fundamentals are so important with making money and not losing sight of that. I think so many people try to get started and they jump way over here to this path before they have the actual fundamentals set. So it's keeping it simple. And I know that you have a chapter in your book that's called Simple. So do you want to share how that means and what some things from that chapter?
Yes, so Moneymaker, there's a chapter called Simple. And it started when I was at Bali, when I was at a female entrepreneurs retreat. And there I am, you know, swimming in the water at Bali, having the life. And one of my coach, someone who I respect, she's a multi-7-figure business owner. She has 6 kids. And she came to me and like, Izzy, I'm going to tell you this. If you want to do your business, you have to keep things simple. And that is the key. Keep things simple. Everything is simple. And I just want to share a guideline.
Okay.
On page 78 that I wrote. There's 5 of those. But I want to share this one thing. What can you take out to streamline your business? It can be a process, a software, a system, a person, or anything you can think of. So simplicity isn't about adding things, but it's what can you take out? What is it that you don't need in your business, whether a system, a software, a person? Like, for example, earlier today, I recorded Dennis for his TEDx interview. So I'm like, okay, Dennis, we're going to do this. Dennis just has to say his idea for 7 minutes and I'll take care of the rest. Dennis doesn't even know what to do, and it doesn't matter because I do. All Dennis is going to care about, you're going to care about, is how can I get you results? The same with my clients who want to go on TV. I used to teach people how to get into TV. Then I discovered that they're so busy. They haven't got time to do what I teach them. So I'm like, okay, dude or darlings, you want to go on TV? You show up on this time and this date, and you say this and this and this about your work. Done. And that's it. So I keep things simple, take away everything else, and make life easy for others.
I love that. And the thing that I take away from that is I talk to my coworkers and my people all the time. And I tell them to focus on what is the money generating activity that you are doing today. Correct. So you can go, because busyness is different than a money making activity. So you can go to an 8 or 10 hour workday, and you could actually, if you actually jotted down and put down exactly what you did for the day, even though it was an 8-hour day, there may have only been, I forget the statistic, but I think when Dan Kennedy wrote his No BS time management, I think there's like 27 minutes or something that are actually productive throughout an entire workday. So, you know, just to think about what you're saying, get rid of all the noise, focus on that money generating activity, or keep it simple on what, because really that's the point of entrepreneurship. Okay, here's my business. Here's how we're going to make money. And everything else, it sounds horrible, but keeping it simple, everything else does fall into place, right? When you keep your eye on the prize and you keep it simple and follow that path of simplicity, so to speak.
Absolutely. And my son loves playing hockey. So he wants to be Dennis, NHL. That's right, NHL player. So the key to him winning, him and his team, one thing only: keep your eye on the puck. That's all that you do. Keep an eye on the puck. And when you keep an eye on the puck has to do one thing: goes into the goal. That's the only thing. That is like with Super Bowl, that's like, you know, I still haven't make sense how people wear those big stuff and tights, men running around on the field. I don't like, you know, just mind boggles me. For me, football is soccer. You kick the ball and you run. But one thing only: keep your eye on the ball, keep your eye on the puck. And the main thing, the team that's going to win is the team that pushes through resistance every single time to get that ball into the goal. That's the only thing that matters. And the same with business. Focus on helping people every single day without wanting something in return, without expecting something. Because I feel nowadays, Dennis, there's always a condition. Do you know what I mean? There's always a condition, right? Absolutely. People post something, but expect something in return. And then when you don't do it, they get mad at you. I'm like, darling, you didn't even tell me what it is, right? You just expected this. Or when I ask for help, they'll be like, no, then you have to give me this. Well, like, it's messed up. It is messed up. But keep your eye on the goal. The same with business. If you can do one thing and one thing only that's going to make a difference, what would that be? And everything else doesn't matter.
I love that. And I couldn't agree more. I've been blessed here lately, especially with our friendship and working with people who are just genuine in business, to where they just want to see each other succeed. And it is so nice to just be able to do that without having any, well, here's this, what are we doing? You know, any type of reciprocation. It happens if you all care about working together to get towards that next goal. It's amazing. Now, you know, you see offers all the time before they've given it any type of help or education. You're really, with money makers, you're truly educating people with this, Izdihar, and I love it. So there's all sorts of cool stuff in here. So can we talk about like the growth and then the loving sales part a little bit? Can we talk about those different things, those different chapters?
Yes, absolutely. So like the loving sales, I used to remember when I was in this leadership program, I had to call people, right?
Right.
I couldn't do it, Janice. Please don't be there. Please don't be there. Please don't be there. And then my heart would shake and everything. And before the call, I had to call my coach to clearing. I'm like, how can you clear all this, right?
Right.
So, don't be there, don't be there, don't be there. And because they measure my effectiveness in the leadership, I'm like, oh my God, now I'm going to mess up. So I go there, like, I just hated every moment of it. I feel like I'm pushy, I'm being salesy and talking to strangers. I couldn't do it. It's just so scary for me. And then to invite them to something, the next step.
Right.
They can make their own decision. Like, I can do this. Oh, I just hated it so much. And then there was a point where I learned that sales is just a meeting of the heart. Sales is just a meeting of the heart. And I'm there just to share what I can offer to help people, how I can value, and the rest that I gotta let go. The rest I gotta let go because I can't force people. People expect things like do this, the hardcore sales. I'm like,
Right.
I've run away from it. But when I think also like sales, loving sales is when I started to be is that when I just have a gracious listening, a generous listening of that person, and then share my ideas. Okay, darling, what is it that you want? What's your dream? What's your vision? Tell me, I want to hear. And then, how can I help you? This is my idea for you. So it's just a meeting of the heart. And I don't like sales when I feel my hands are tied into my back.
Sure.
I used to have sales call with like, I have a whole script, word for word. I convert word for word. I just felt my hand was tight behind my back and I couldn't breathe throughout the process. And then when I couldn't find my sales script, guess what? I panicked. Oh my God, I can't do this. I've got no sales script and everything. So loving sales is just me
Sure.
thinking, I'm just going to talk to my best friend today.
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk to my best friend. It's a meeting of the heart. It's the warmth and the connection. I think like before they jump into the call with me, very likely they have stalked me, do the research on me, whatever it is, they've been following me.
Right.
But when it comes to the call, everything else doesn't matter. All I have to be is just a generous listener and let them know that when they say yes to themselves, I will take care of them just like family. They're my family now. I'll invite them to my home. I'll cook for them. I'll listen to them. I'll hold their hand. I understand what it's like to go on PMS, okay? I understand there'll be moments of PMS. So I
Yes.
know what it takes. I know when you hit resistance, I know you want to pull back. I will hold your hand all the way and take care of you. So you feel so heard and important and special and loved. And to me, that's what my family, being a family is about.
I love what you said there. And just to note, we've never talked sales before at all, Izdihar, at all. We've never talked sales. And you just said the key to me of what it is. If you replace the word sell with help and you truly, genuinely help somebody get to that next step or get to their goal, whether it's a client, a friend, whatever, it's amazing how all of a sudden it's just effortless. And I love that you say meeting of the hearts, because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. But I do want to ask, what kind of resilience did that create? How did that build up your character by getting out of your comfort zone? Because I talk to people all the time about each week you should do something out of your comfort zone. So even though it was uncomfortable, how did that build you up, and what did it make of you because you did that? And obviously it helped you solve the different way of selling, but what did that getting out of your comfort zone, what did that do for your business and you as a person?
I think like comfort zone for me, just like so uncomfortable all the time. It's not a great place to be. But I feel that the more uncomfortable I am, the more successful I become, or the more things I create, the more people I attract. Because I think like if you see throughout time, people are attracted to people who are committed, who are
Yes.
courageous, who are willing to do whatever it takes, who's got that warmth, that connection. One of the biggest things that people say about me is that I just love your energy. I'm like, okay, they have a chat with me or they film me on social media or whatever it is. I just love your energy. And that energy comes from being uncomfortable all
Yes.
the time, right? sharing yourself, putting yourself out there every day. It's not easy. Look, it's not easy to do reels, okay? Or to the Instagram. I think Dennis, I've converted to Dennis, come and check the Instagram now because I've checked you. It's not so uncomfortable.
Sure.
The main thing is touching people's hearts.
Yeah.
The main thing is touching people's, and whatever resistant or resilient that's going to come is part of the package that I have to go through. I remember for my TED talk, I just so scared speaking on stage. I just couldn't. I freeze. It takes a lot. I freeze. And then I had to train myself a lot, right? Building that resistance, building that resilience, train myself every single day, ask for help, ask for the best coaches. I only go for the best coaches, figuring out my story, and then come on the TED day. I was, again, so nervous. I was doing jumping jack. I was doing whatever, behind on the green room. But when the organizer announced the next speaker is Dr. Izdihar Jamil, and the thing I remember about her the most is her smile. And on that moment, I just prayed, Dennis. I just said, God, just let me be. Just let me be. Help them hear my heart. Help me touch their hearts. Help me take care of one person, and I'll be so grateful. And I walk out on the stage. I said my first word. I don't remember anything else. And then I cried on the stage because it's just a lot. Because I feel more than anyone else, my coach says I have this TNT in me. Like if I don't let it out, I'm gonna kill myself, right? So I like let it out, use it into my words, put it out there. And then I could, because of the spotlight, I can only see 4 people at the front. And when I did my last word, the first person stand up, and the second, and the second, and the second, so the whole people stand up. And my husband said that he could be biased, but he said, you had the longest and loudest standing ovation. Wow. And I just walked off the stage. And after that, I had people's husband, people's mom, people's friend come over to me. You made me cry. Your words touched my heart, and this and that. And I'm just so grateful. And that's what I feel like when you push yourself every single day. It's so uncomfortable. It's so scary. You don't even want to do it. I would rather watch Netflix, okay?
Yeah.
I would rather watch Netflix.
Right, of course, yeah.
But when you play the big game for others, you start to see how it touches other people and hopefully plants a positive seed in people's hearts.
Well, let me first start off with, it is true. Talking to you, if somebody's having a bad day, one of the best highlights is to talk to you, because you always put people in such a great mood. So that's true. They're not lying there. I always feel 10 times better. Secondly, your TED Talk was probably the most heartfelt, genuine TED Talk I've ever seen. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell us a little bit. It was amazing. It was just, I made my wife listen to it. She loves you anyway, so she was definitely willing to listen to it, no problem. But tell me about, first of all, the only other thing I will correct you, I'd rather watch motivation success TV than I would Netflix, but that's just me plugging away. So I'm just kidding. But tell me about what preparation for, because a TED Talk is not just a walk in the park. So tell me about what the preparation is like for that. We talk about comfort zone and whatnot. What is it like to prepare for that?
So I talk about in Moneymakers, the chapter is called Authority, like being a TED speaker, being out there, being in the media. So it's called Authority. So TED Talk is, not everybody can be a TED speaker. And that's why it's so prestigious. It's so elite, being a TED speaker. And with the TED Talk, every word is scripted. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, it's kind of like the first thing is that you have to know what your idea is, right? Your unique idea and what you want to share with the world. And it takes a lot of brains. When I first sent my application, one of my titles was, "The fake you is the real you." Right. And then, they said no to me. I applied to 10 different places, 6 of those didn't even get back to me. Three said no, one said yes. And that one is the best one for me, because I knew that when God said no to me, He's just directing me to the best place. It's exactly what I want. It's close to home, about 30 minutes drive because of a baby. I just had my baby. I didn't want to travel out of state or out of country. It's women-based, it inspires diversity and culture, because my topic is slightly more diverse revolution, I would say.
Right.
So you gotta have that. And then the not giving up. I mean, how many times people can say no to you and then you give up, right? Like, it's just like, how, like, are you not good enough or everything like that? But keep on going, like your TED ad talk before, Janice, just keep on going every day. It's about doing the hard work. It's part of the package. And then it comes to crafting your story.
Right.
There's a particular way to craft a TED story. I had to learn it. After I finished the talk, the curator, Sonali Fix, said that I'm a master storyteller. It takes a lot to craft a story and put an emotion to it. Essentially, it's my 20 years of life in that 8 minutes, coming together. And then the practice part, because I'm so scared of stage, I had to learn from the best coach, he used to be an NFL player. NFL, I got it right, NFL player. His brother was was the quarterback, and he became a stage performer, an actor after that. So he's the best at stage performance and physicality. So he taught me how to be so attractive on stage that people can't look away from you, how to own your physicality, how to tell the story with all the emotions. Just let yourself be, because that's secretly, that's what the audience wants. They don't want a stuck up, pretense, perfect kind of person. Right. They want the real one. And relentless practice was my key, because my coach, his name is Bo Eason, he says that the key, Izdihar, is when you have relentless practice, your life will be predictable. So practice every day, every moment, over and embodying it over and over and over and over again. When the day comes, it just goes out. I don't have to think anymore, because on the day, my TED Talk, all the hard work has been done. The same with a Super Bowl championship. All the hard work has been done on that Super Bowl day. It's the practice that will make it. So that's kind of like so uncomfortable and growing and outside comfort zone, but that's part of the package.
That's right. Hey, tell us what else would you like to talk about with the book? We have just a little bit of short time. Is there anything else you want to touch on? And then we're going to go over how they get the book and how they can find you as well. But anything else you want to throw in there about the book before we go?
So I think, like Dennis, you mentioned something about relationship.
Yes. Before,
which is key. The currency to any business, I feel, is relationship. And it's not, sometimes relationship can be abusive when you don't realize it, and it can be toxic. People say things and they don't do. And I think you and I will probably have experienced it. Well, I have experienced it in the years. It's really heartbroken when people say things and they don't do, or they rip off your system, or they take things, your own work and then made it their own. And, people just lie. It's just so toxic. And at times I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Why should I would rather bake cakes, and enjoy my kids. But when you find a good relationship, someone who understands you, someone who supports you, you hold on, you take care of that relationship, you nurture it, you give everything that you've got in that relationship. And one thing I've learned from you, Dennis, I'm like, Dennis, I have this idea, like a calendar, and this, we'll do a panel style interview. Like, that's again another way of simplicity, because Dennis, you wanted to interview like 100 people or something. I'm like, no, Dennis, we'll just do one, we'll do it like this. And like that's something I'm so grateful for. And like, you honor your words, you stick to your words, and even though I have this crazy things going on, you support it, you're very generous with the time in your team. And I think that is the true essence of what business or relationship is about. So I just want to say thank you for that, Janice, for showing me and for teaching me that part of
Oh, I'm super appreciative for you too as well. So thank you. So I appreciate it so much. How can we get the book, and how can we get a hold of you, Izdihar?
Moneymakers available on Amazon. So we have the Kindle, the paperback, #1 in 4 countries, US, Canada, Australia, Japan, within 24 hours of launch. And if you're listening to this, the proceeds is going to go to the Forgotten Children Foundation, which is my local charity with for the fight against human trafficking. When I went hiking with my friend, my son and his friend, one wearing a red jacket, one wearing an orange jacket, they walked in front of us because it's not cool to be with mommy. So they walked in front of us towards the end of the trail. There's only one trail, you go up and you come back. We couldn't find them. There's 2 boys were missing. And then every people that we asked, have you seen these 2 boys, one the red, one the orange? You can't miss them, right? Red and orange, you can't miss them. Everybody said no. And my friend and I were just so scared. We couldn't find them. We're just like, God, just please, just please take care of them. So, and then, we wanted to call the police and everything. Sorry, baby Munchkin is there. Call the police and everything. This is what life is about. You have baby Munchkin in the background.
Baby Munchkin just sounded the alarm.
So, and then we found them, we found them, the 2 boys wanted to play tricks on mommy. So mommy was so mad and they were grounded, but it's that feeling, right? I had all those thoughts. And then when I was stuck in my room, I bought a candle because I wanted things to smell nice. And as I was planning Moneymaker, God just showed me the best place that I can contribute Moneymaker to that is helpful for me and my community. And when the candle came right on the sticker, light this candle in fight against human trafficking. I'm like, okay, God. And I remember all that feeling came up. So thank you so much for your support. Moneymakers available on Amazon. And you can reach me out on social media. I am Dr. Izdihar Jamil on my website, izdiharjamil.com.
And also, Izdihar has her Yes, I Can TV show on Motivation Success TV. She has her podcast. You'll see her everywhere. Thank you so much for being on the show, Izdihar. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all you do for us.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Thank you, Dennis.
Congratulations again. All right, take care.